Well, he'll announce us and then.
Okay.
You are visible to the world, you're audible to the world, and I think the folks in the room will be able to hear you.
I hope so.
Can I see that?
Ladies and gentlemen, Benny Amon's New Orleans Pearl.
Hello.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, ready?
Go, Mark. Yeah.
1, 2, 1. Now Louisiana, Louisiana, New Orleans is the land of dreams, and it'll chase your blues away. Now Mississippi, roll along, carry me back to you. There's red beans and rice, it's paradise, Louisiana. I'm coming to you, Louisiana.
want me to do?
Yeah, that was prima, man.
Yeah, that was. All right, that was this song is hard to say. It's called Louisiana, and this song was written by Joe Derensburg from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I actually knew his grandson in New Orleans. We played some music together. Yeah, he was a really nice person, and he told me some stories about his grandfather. But Mark actually has some stories about Joe Derensburg he wanted to tell everyone. So
So
we all have a lot of connections to New Orleans in different ways. Both Jeff and I lived there a long time. Mark's been, deeply connected to New Orleans music his whole life, and well, Sam too. So
I've heard of it.
yeah, you've heard of New Orleans. Anyways, so
I haven't heard of you.
we're gonna be playing a lot of New Orleans jazz. Like I remember playing at Preservation Hall and different places, as well as we play out here. Snug Harbor, yeah, play at Snug Harbor a lot, and Palm Court Jazz Cafe. Yeah, all these kind of memories that come back through these songs, and it's a really beautiful thing to do that and share it with you this Mardi Gras season. So thanks for being here with us at Bird and Beckett. Tell us about Joe Derensburg, all right?
Yes, so you may know, you may have seen Joe Derensburg. He is probably his biggest claim to fame. He was a clarinet player from, not actually from New Orleans. I think he was from one of the little towns outside of New Orleans. But in the late, mid 60s, he was played with Louis Armstrong's All Stars. And then maybe about 10 years later, I was about 5 years old, and my dad was a trombone player, and I used to go to jazz festivals with him and carry his trombone case around. And one year he played in a band with Joe Derensburg, and Joe told me this story. I remembered it my whole life, and it's a Louis Armstrong story that you've probably never heard. I actually talked to one of the curators of the Louis Armstrong Museum, and he'd never heard the story. But apparently Louis liked Cracker Jacks, the candy, the caramel corn, with the gift inside the box. And so one day he was on tour, and he got a box of Cracker Jacks, and it had a little trumpet in it. And it was just a big deal because little Louis Armstrong finds a trumpet in the Cracker Jacks. Wow. And so it was a whistle. And he said, so the whole rest of the time that Joe was with Louis, he said Louis would tell a joke, and usually a pretty risque joke. And then after the joke, he would pull out this little plastic trumpet and play it, blow it like a whistle. So that's my Louis Armstrong story.
That's great. Well, thanks, Mark. That's actually a good segue, because the next song we're going to do is actually one that from Louis Armstrong, from Armstrong's mentor, the great King Oliver from New Orleans, who Louis got his start with playing double cornet, right, in New Orleans and Chicago. And this is a really beautiful song of King Oliver. It's called "What You Want Me to Do."
Ready?
Yeah, where do you want it?
All right, I'll count it. 1, 2, 3.
That was What You Want Me to Do by King Oliver. Those old New Orleans melodies were so beautiful and rich, and so much of that comes from the influence of New Orleans music coming from different parts of the Americas. This next one we're going to do is actually a Mexican tune that made its way to New Orleans, and Bunk Johnson had a hit with this from New Orleans. It's called Maria Elena. And it really shows the Latin tinge in New Orleans music, which is kind of the foundations of how jazz developed, is those different kind of Afro-Cuban and different kinds of rhythms that came into New Orleans and what they did with it. So, all right, Maria Elena.
What do you think? Right on? A B flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you pickups, right?
Pickups?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. All right. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1.
right, Maria Elena with a beautiful bass solo by Sam Rocha. And we're gonna feature Sam on the next one. He's also a great vocalist. He's gonna sing this old song that New Orleans bands. It was originally a waltz, and so in New Orleans they like to take waltzes and play them both as waltzes and in 4/4 time. And I think we're gonna show you an example of that on "Let Me Call You Sweetheart." So how do you want to do it? Want to play?
Can we play the waltz as an instrumental?
And yeah, and then I'll roll off into it. And then I'll roll off.
We'll do a chorus
Yeah.
as an instrumental.
And what's your tempo on it? Great, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey folks, thanks for coming. I learned this tune from a pianist in New Orleans. I didn't learn it personally from him, but from a record named Sing Miller. Was his first name Ernest? Was that his first name?
No, James Edwards.
James Edward
Jeff
Miller.
worked with Sing Miller a lot. Sing
Jeff Hamilton indeed worked with Sing Miller, so we have 1 degree of separation here, which is really cool.
Yeah.
This is Let Me Call You Sweetheart.
I'm at least 2 degrees separation. Don't try to figure that out.
Oh my God.
All right, so a waltz.
Yeah, and then roll off into it. Yeah.
Oh, roll off into it. You want to sing it off the
No. And then play.
Got it.
Two instrumentals and then
All right.
my worst.
Okay. All right, enough rehearsing. Let's do it.
That's a New Orleans rehearsal.
Yeah, exactly. Right there. 1, 2, 3,
1. Let me hear you whisper that you love me too. Keep your love light burning in your eyes, so true. Now let me call you sweetheart, I'm in love with you. Drum solo. Let me call you sweetheart. I'm in love with you. Let me hear you whisper that you love me like you do. Now keep your love light burning in your eyes, so true. Now let me call you sweetheart. I'm in love with you.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, Sam Rocha on that one. Cool. The next one you don't hear very often, and it's about the first jazz man. There's actually a book that kind of uncovered some real information about him. There's a lot of myth about him, but he was never recorded, and this is back in the late 19th century. He was really at the beginnings of jazz in New Orleans. He played cornet, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there was a song that was written about him, and Mark's gonna sing it. Well, it's about him and all. Yeah. So
I can give him some backstory on it.
give us some backstory about Buddy Bolden's blues. The blues is really important in New Orleans jazz, so I have to play blues somewhere in this set. So here we go with Buddy Bolden's.
Yeah. This was actually first recorded by Jelly Roll Morton when he did some great recordings towards the end of his life, I think late 30s, and then he later recorded it for the Library of Congress. And these lyrics are, there's really just two parts for the lyrics I sing. The first part is about the band playing, and they need to open the windows in the dance hall. So that's the first part. This is really deep. The second part is about somebody who gets arrested, and in New Orleans, one of the things they would make you do if you got arrested for a minor crime was go and sweep up the French market in the mornings. And so this is about somebody getting sentenced to do that. And that's about as deep as they go.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right. Yep. You don't see people nowadays doing that. Don't make you sweep up the market. Ready?
Yeah.
3 big ones. Okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Now I thought I heard Buddy Bolden say, funky butt, take it away. Funky butt, take him away. I thought I heard him say. Now I thought I heard Frankie Dewson shout, open up the window, let that bad air out. Now open up the window like I explained ya and let that foul air out. I thought I heard Frankie Dewson shout. I thought I heard Frankie Dewson say, give me that money like I explained ya, or I'm gonna beat it out. Give me that money, or I'm gonna beat it out. I thought I heard Frankie Dewson shout. Now I thought I heard Judge Fogarty say? Give him 30 days in the market and take him away. Give him a good broom to sweep with and take him away. I thought I heard Judge Fogarty say.
Bloody Bolins. Thanks, Mark. All right, the next one we're going to do is a Mardi Gras tune. It's called While We Danced at the Mardi Gras. And remember playing this many Mardi Gras in New Orleans, so it's a beautiful tune. All right.
Wait a minute. You actually remember Mardi Gras?
You know, early
How did
20s,
you
no,
manage
but
that?
like
Early
late
20s,
20s, yeah.
Two flats, right? Is it two?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I'll give you a roll off.
All right.
All right, that was fun. Next tune we're to do. What I love about New Orleans jazz is that it contains all the emotions: sadness, joy, pain, joy. You know, well, I already said that, joy. I mean, I don't know, everything there is. This song I think captures really is a very old tune. I think it's from the 17th century, actually, right? Weren't we looking at that? Like isn't it like an Irish tune or a Scottish tune? In fact,
Yeah, let me see.
it's an extremely old tune that the New Orleans jazz bands would play, and actually Louis Armstrong had a amazing record of this song, as well as Bunk Johnson from New Orleans. And this is a beautiful old song that captures a lot of emotions, I think, called "In the Gloaming." It also has beautiful lyrics, so you should look it up. It's really, really beautiful song.
From 1877.
18. Oh, okay, it's not that old. Well, I mean that's old. Yeah. All right.
Pretty old.
Hey Jeff, can I get your chord changes?
Yep.
Also, folks, if you see us looking at our phones, musicians used to carry. A lot of musicians don't read any music. I think as a bass player, I don't know as many songs as I would like to, but we're not checking our email. We have chord changes here. So no more briefcases or anything like that with sheet music. Just the glow of the screen.
I got a gig in my email. I gotta go.
Yeah, you want me to count it?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Where are you like a Louis thing?
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Everyone okay? Heard a fall? Was that you, Eric? You don't know your way around your own bookstore, like back of your hand? Just kidding.
Man, we can't take you anywhere.
Yeah. Eric, actually, I do have a question for you. Since we started late, is it okay if we play 2 more tunes this set? Okay. Okay, great. Wonderful. We have so much music we want to share with you, so we don't want to cut it short. But thank you for coming here to BART and Beckett. I'm remembering that there's a wonderful nonprofit here in the Bay Area called Jazz in the Neighborhood, which is almost like an alternative union for musicians in a certain way, and they're doing a lot to promote and improve working conditions for professional musicians like ourselves, and we really appreciate what they do. And they are sponsoring a bunch of shows here at BART and Beckett and have done so in the past as well. So look them up, Jazz in the Neighborhood. They need your support. We all need your support to keep this music going, and we appreciate you so very much. And Jazz in the Neighborhood, thank you. And Eric, thank you for having us. Also, independent bookstores, we need to keep them around. They're funky and unique, and you can't replace them. So let's keep that going too. And anyways, we have a couple more songs right now. The first one we're gonna do is by a musician who had a dance orchestra in New Orleans in the 1920s. It was actually the most popular dance band of the 1920s in New Orleans. They would play at Mardi Gras balls, and he wrote some famous songs. One of the most famous ones, this is probably his most famous song, and it's a beautiful song that I recorded in New Orleans back in 2018 with my band while I lived there, and it's called, we have vinyl records and CDs of that available for purchase if you want to bring that home with you. But this is I love this song. This is called The Purple Rose of Cairo. That's right. Did I say the name of who wrote it? It's Amón Perón. A.J. Perón is who wrote the song. Sorry. second line and then first second line and then one. Great. All right, the Purple Rose of Cairo. Now it's Mardi Gras season, so we want to do some parade tunes like they're playing at the parades right now, no doubt. This is by one of the most important drummers of all time that came out of New Orleans, named Paul Barberin. And actually, I have a story about his nephew, Lucien Barberin, who was a great trombone player in New Orleans, who passed away a few years ago. And I was at Preservation Hall one night playing in a band, and he was right in front of me, and literally his uncle wrote this song that we're about to play. And Lucien also could play some great drums, and I was so nervous. I had a lot of imposter syndrome, but he gave me some tips, and now it's one of my favorite songs to play, this wonderful second line song called Paul Barberin's Second Line. Thank you all for being here. I don't know if you're sticking around, but thank you so much for being here, and we have a whole other set of music if you do stick around. So again, thank you, Eric, Jazz in the Neighborhood. Here we go. Okay, Paul Barberin's Second Line.
You do that. Yeah.
I know we don't have lyrics, but I'll do the whole thing.
All right.
You got it? Yeah.
All right.
Thanks so much. That's Jeff Hamilton on piano, Mark Caparone on trumpet, vocals, Sam Rocha on bass, yours truly, Benny Amón. Thank you so much. Hello. All right, Eric, I think we're almost ready here. We have the same audience for the second set, I think. This is wonderful. We're going to start with that making believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think it's B flat.
Yeah.
Two.
Yeah, we're waiting on doing an announcement, Eric, or we should just go?
I do want to say one thing.
Please do. Yeah.
You guys know Michael Steinman?
Yes.
Yes.
He actually wrote the liner notes for my record.
Aha!
Yeah.
Well, Michael's back in the East Coast probably listening.
Yeah, yeah.
He sent some very substantial support to these guys.
Oh,
Which is nice, 'cause
thanks,
we got a
Michael.
couple players.
No, he told me that he was gonna watch it tomorrow morning because he's going to sleep early. You know. Yeah.
We have a couple musicians who travel quite a ways to get here. Mark is driven up from where?
Paso
Paso
Robles. Yeah.
and is driving back after the gig.
Yeah.
And Sam's up from Los Angeles. He's on a few dates here, so he's going to be amortizing it a little bit over the thing. So it's nice to have Michael's support. Will help us guys get a little gas money.
We appreciate that. Yeah.
And
Thanks.
this fella had to cross that stormy bridge.
Well, yeah, it's a long ways to Point Reyes.
It is. Took him carry.
Well, I live out in the Presidio. It was like 30 minutes to get here. So.
Yeah, I'll bet.
I live downstairs. So
Yeah. There you go.
I haven't been home all
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. That's right.
All right.
That's right.
So anyway, we're very pleased to have this music and these musicians here. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. We appreciate you. Bert and Beckett. We also appreciate, again, Jazz in the Neighborhood for sponsoring us tonight. We got another set of New Orleans music, so can't wait to share it with you. I know there's some dancers here. Please do feel free to dance. Anyone, just even in your seat. You know, you can get up in your seat like this. You know, a lot of people don't realize that jazz was dance music. That's really, it had a social function. It was part of the lives and the cultures and the neighborhoods where people were from. And certainly that's true in New Orleans. That's how this music really developed and had a function, whether it was a funeral or a Mardi Gras ball or a parade or a wedding or a party or anything, you know. So please, I mean, we're all sitting and enjoying, and do what's good for you, but also please don't hesitate to move your body. And we respond really well to that as well. We're going to start with a beautiful song called I'm Making Believe that I think the Ink Spots had a hit with this.
Yeah, Bunk.
But also so a lot of New Orleans musicians would hear pop music of their day, like swing music and other kinds of genres, and then they would play it in the New Orleans style. And this is an example of that done by the great Bunk Johnson from New Orleans of I'm Making Believe.
Derived from the Ink Spots.
Yeah, that's right.
and Ella Fitzgerald. She was.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, put it where you want it.
It has a longer form.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. I guess right on it now.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
actually
set me up with a gig, whatever gig he had, he would put me on it, and I got to meet Jeff through Clint, and Clint would also just give me CDs, cassettes, vinyl, whatever, and I really took a liking to Clancy Hayes, who was a San Francisco-based singer and guitarist, six-string banjo. He was a broadcaster, too, I believe. He was on the radio here, but also just a big, warm voice. So I'll try to do my best. I'll try to channel Clancy Hayes tonight. Well, this town is full of guys who think they're mighty wise just because they know a thing or two. You can see them every day strolling up and down Broadway, telling of the wonders they will do. You'll see wise guys and boosters, card sharks and crap shooters. They congregate around the metropole, wearing flashy ties and collars, but where they get their dollars, they all have an ace down in the hole. Some of them write to their old folks for dough, and that's their ace in the hole, while others have towels in the old tenderloin, and that's their ace in the hole. Well, they'll tell you about trips that they're going to make from Frisco to the, I almost said Fresno, North Pole. Well, their names would be mud like a chump dealing stud if they lost their old days in the hole. Some of them write to their old folks for dough, and that's their ace in the hole, while others have friends in the old tenderloin, and that's their ace in the hole. They'll tell you about trips that they're going to make, some San Francisco to the North Pole. Well, their names would be mud, like jump with dealing stuff, if they lost that old ace in the hole.
Say, Sam Rocha on that one. Great. All right. I think it's really important to also connect with our own local musical history and how it's all connected to other places too. So anyways, we're going to continue, go back to New Orleans and do, well, this is an old folk song. I don't think there's any credited composer, but I associate this song with the great Sidney Bechet from New Orleans, the clarinet and soprano saxophone player. And this is an old blues called the Stacoli Blues.
I'll do the pickups.
Yeah, great. So in the first set, we did a song with a Latin tinge in New Orleans jazz. We're going to do another one of those. This is a real fun one called Tippy Tippy Tin. And this one's about, it's a romantic song, kind of. Well, it's about love, and it's about a young woman, Rosita, which I always think of because my abuela's name was Rosita, so I always thinking about her in this song, even though it's kind of not really a romantic song, actually.
It is tonight.
It is tonight.
You may have to use your imagination.
Yeah, that's right.
Romance.
Well, no one's singing it, so.
Let's see. Okay. On the 8th, the version.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. All right.
Yeah.
One, two, three.
Thank
All right, this music's fun. All right. Now this next song, we're gonna bring it down from there. Can't go through a night of New Orleans music without playing a song from Jelly Roll Morton, the great piano player from New Orleans. He claimed he invented jazz. He definitely had a big part in developing it, for sure. And this is a song he wrote called "Sweet Substitute." We're gonna have Mark sing it for you.
Do a verse and then we'll do
Yeah, that's it.
Does that sound okay?
Key? A flat. A flat? Okay. Chorus first, you said?
Let's do a chorus and then we'll do a verse and then I'll sing it after that. How's
Okay.
that? There you go. Instant arrangement.
Yeah, that's
like
right.
a chromatic thing, a little down thing.
I don't know. We'll see what we get there.
This is a tune from one of the later periods in Jelly Roll Morton's life after he'd left New York City around 1938 or so. Don't quote me on that year, but right around that time he left New York City and moved to Washington, D.C., and he recorded a bunch of tunes around that time. He was kind of rediscovered, and this is a original tune. I think he wrote it right around that time. It may explain why he left his wife in New York. It's called "Sweet Substitute."
I didn't know that story.
All right. Yeah, we'll do it on the chorus. 1, 2, 1. Sweet substitute, sweet substitute. She tells me that she's mine, all mine. Does anything I tell her, 'cause love is blind. She's got such loving ways. She keeps my poor head in a daze. My new recruit is mighty sweet and cute. I'm talking about my substitute. Don't want no regular, my sweet substitute.
Karina, would you like to sing with us? Okay, we have a real Bay Area legend here. She's the vocalist and leader of the Cottontails, which is a great swing band here in the Bay Area you might know of. And she's going to sing a song with us. Karina, I'm so sorry. Can you tell me how to say your last name?
Denike. It's a weird name.
Karina Denike. Yeah, Karina Denike. That's right. Welcome her. She's going to sing Porter's
Love song to the chambermaid.
Porter's love song to the chambermaid.
chambermaid.
To the chambermaid. That's a
That's-
long title. Okay, here we go.
A flat.
A flat. Okay.
Give it up one more time for these amazing musicians. Benny, Amón. I'm gonna have to buy your record. This is a Fats Waller song called "The Porter's Love Song to the Chambermaid." You want to take the whole form once?
Okay.
And then I'll come in. One,
A flat.
two, yep. One, two, one. Well, you can be the clothespin, and I'll be the line. We'll hang out together, and won't that be fine? You can be the dustpan, and I'll be the broom. We'll sweep together all over the room. Well, you be my dishpan, babe, I'll be your dish. We'll swim together just like two little fish. You can be the window, I'll be the window shade. That's a Porter's love song to the chambermaid. Go ahead. Well, you could be the pulley, I'll be the pulley line. We'll pull together, and won't that be fine? You can be the oil mountain, and I'll be the oil. We'll mingle together every time we toil. Now, you be my washboard, babe, I'll be your tub. Just think of the Mondays, we can rub it up, dub. You can be the razor, I'll be the razor. Play that's a Porter's love song to the chambermaid. That's a Porter's love song to the chambermaid. Thank you so much.
That was fabulous. Thank you. Karina Denike. Look her up. When are you performing next, Karina?
I think of Mr. Tipples with the Cocktails.
Oh, that's a great club. Mr. Tibble, yeah. Great, wonderful. All right, we're going to keep it going. We're going to go back to New Orleans and play another song by A.J. Perrone from New Orleans. And this is another great old dance song from the 20s called Kiss Me Sweet.
got a text. You got a text. I'll tell you later.
Is it a gig? Is it a gig?
No, actually, they don't want you on the gig anymore, Jeff. They said you're released from your duties.
Well, let's do this.
Oh my
instead.
goodness. That's too
Terrible.
All right.
What arrangement would you like on this? What do you think?
Last
eight, right?
Last eight, yeah.
8.
Yeah.
And
Verse, right?
verse after
Yeah.
that? You good?
Yeah.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. 1, 2. Take it 10 1,
Yeah.
2, 3.
Get out of here and go home. Okay, depending, this might be our last song, and it's called. This is an old song that they played in New Orleans called "Get Out of Here and Go On Home." But I don't know if they'll let us. Maybe you can get another song out of us. We'll see. All right. See what I could come up with. That's fun. All right, do we have time for one more?
Please give us one more.
Okay, we'd love to, yeah. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming to Bert and Beckett tonight. Thank you. Thank you so much. I see my mom back there. She's shepping all the nahas, you know. You know what that means. That's Yiddish for pride. She's feeling pride, yeah. And I'm very grateful to be here playing music with all these amazing musicians. That's Mark Caparone on trumpet and singing for you. Thank you, Mark, for the schlep all the way up here. Yeah, that's Sam Rocha, also schlepped all the way from LA. You are a schlep? We'll talk about that later, okay? And Jeff Hamilton, my partner in crime. Very grateful to play music with you. Yeah. Jeff Hamilton is one of the greatest drummers in this style alive, and so I'm honored to get to
Wait a
play
minute,
music
who
with him.
says I'm alive?
Anyways, what was I gonna say?
We've got to hear something for Benny Amón.
Well, thank you, Mark. Thank you so much. Yeah. Well, I just get us all together, and then we make the music happen together, and it's a beautiful thing to do that together. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, thank you to Jazz in the Neighborhood for sponsoring us, sponsoring a lot of shows coming up here at Burt and Beckett. Burt and Beckett has a real diverse array of musicians and music, modern jazz, all kinds of world music, all kinds of things. So check it out. I'm sure there's something else that will be interesting to you. And if you didn't get enough,
buy books if you want to buy
well,
books.
yeah, actually, like I was just looking at, there's a book about Jelly Roll Morton right there that I was looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing bookstore too. So
Yeah.
let's support him in that as well.
Yeah.
And then what I was going to say, oh yeah, if you want to dance this kind of music, we'll be, it's Fat Tuesday this Tuesday. We'll be at the Verdi Club playing the Woodchoppers Ball, which is a great swing dance and a really good time. So let's keep the party going. But we're going to bring it down and actually do the song that Louis Armstrong ended most of his sets, and certainly later in his career. He would end sets with this beautiful song called When It's Sleepy Time Down South. Thank you all so much. We'll see you. Thank you, Eric. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you to Jazz in the Neighborhood for sure. They're supporting 2 dates a month with us. They're supporting 2 dates a week over at Shuggies. What's it called?
The Pizza Parlor or whatever.
Something?
Yeah.
There's a pizza place on, I think, 29th near maybe Valencia about. I'm going to try to get there on Tuesday. They're booking great people over there. And Jazz in the Neighborhood is feeding them a little bit of subsidy to try to get them used to like just paying good money all the time. And it worked here. We kind of buckled under a long time ago. There is gentle prodding. So we try to pay decently. And it's an important organization. You can donate to Jazz in the Neighborhood. And that's how they get money together to give to venues who can then give money to the musicians. So
You can also donate to Burnham Beckett, right?
you can donate.
You're a
We have
nonprofit, right?
We have a nonprofit.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can donate to us. Audiences here cover about 85% of what we pay the bands on average, it looks like. But there's also ASCAP, that's insurance companies and lawyers and accountants and all those things. So we really rely on a donor base. So if you can do that, that's great. A couple of our board members are here.
Oh, nice.
They're making sure that I behave. All right. So anyway, thanks. There's that. There's the Independent Musicians Alliance, which is organizing the CATs for a collective voice to pressure the powers that be and just businesses to pay decently. You know, it's no longer the world of the $50 gig. It's now the world of the $35 gig. So we're trying to triple and quadruple that. So IMA, that's very important. That's a sister organization of Jazz in the Neighborhood and Burnham Beckett and a couple other things. There's a thing around, I'm sorry to go on, but there's one more thing I got to say. So IMA is especially behind getting something going called the Fair Play Initiative. And the idea is that when city money is involved in a gig, that the musician should get a full guaranteed fair wage. And that's not always done at all. So if there's city money involved, then the money has to get through to the musicians, which is an odd concept. Okay, that's what I want to say about that.
Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you all for being here. Thank you. Karina,
Yeah, Karina, thank you, Karina.
come back on Thanksgiving. Cocktails are always here.
Oh, nice. Nice. That's right. I forgot about that.
Leave out the money that all of us actually use for our